Okay, so today we'll talk about the halachot of Haga Shavuot. Actually, it's minhagim more than halachot because there's not that much. So if you look at the Shulchan Aruch, here's an interesting thing. Let's read all the halachot that the Shulchan Aruch has to say about Shavuot. Okay? It says this, ביום חמישים לספירת העומר הוא חג השבועות. וסדר התפילה כמו ביום טוב של פסח. So it says, on the 50th day of Sfirat HaOmer, we celebrate Shavuot. The prayers are like the prayers of Pesach, except for saying Yom Shavuot and Hallel, and it says the reading and the Haftarah, and then Asur Lit'anot b'motzei Hag HaShavuot, one cannot have a fast day on the day following Shavuot. Let's say you want to have his personal fast day, or he had a bad dream and he wants to fast, whatever it is, you can't do it on Motzei Hag HaShavuot. So all the halachot in the Shulchan Aruch that speak about Shavuot are basically, there's only one halacha. Don't fast on Motzei Hag HaShavuot. What do I do on Shavuot? He says like Pesach. Same tefillot. There's nothing in Shulchan Aruch. No minhagim, nothing. Interesting, right? Because today, people teach there are two main things that they speak about. Dairy food and staying up all night. Shulchan Aruch doesn't speak of that. So this is interesting. Why does this happen? Because in reality, Shavuot originally was a very sort of nondescript holiday. The whole idea of Shavuot was the completion of Pesach. We start from Pesach, we go to Shavuot, we count 49 days, and we celebrate Shavuot. It's a holiday. Just relax and be joyous. Even the concept of Matan Torah that we add in the Tefillah, we say Zman Matan Toratenu, is not mentioned in the Torah. The Torah doesn't say celebrate Shavuot because it's Matan Torah, even though it's obvious that was the time, because the date doesn't always correspond. But the other two minhagim that people are usually associating with the Shavuot of eating dairy and staying up all night are not mentioned. The Haga, which is Rabbi Moshe Israelis, who records the Ashkenazi custom, says the following: "Nohagim lishtoach asavim b'shavuot bebet hakneset ve'abatim zecher lesimchat matan Torah." It is a custom to decorate the synagogues with branches and flowers in memory of Matan Torah. "V'nohagim bechol makom le'echol ma'achalei halav bayom harishon shel Shavuot." And it says it is a custom in all places to eat dairy on the first night or the first day of Shavuot. And he says, I think, נראה לי הטעם שהוא כמו שני תבשילים שלוקחים בליל פסח. זכר לפסח וזכר לחגיגה. He says, why do we eat dairy? Because on Pesach we have two dishes, one in honor of the Korban Pesach, one in honor of the Korban Hagiga, which was the additional one that was brought to Yerushalayim, so everybody could join in a big meal, right? So he says you have to have two tafshilim, you have to have two dishes. So what are the two dishes? כן אוכלים מאכל חלב ואחר כך מאכל בשר. Yeah? So ערב Shavuot, you eat dairy and then you eat meat. Or maybe he refers, it's not so clear, if you eat dairy at night and meat in the morning, but it seems more that the minhag was, the practice was that you eat dairy first and then you eat meat. So it's not what we do today. People who eat dairy eat only dairy, one of the meals, and then they eat meat in another meal. Later on, after this, so this is what we have also from the time of the Shulchan Aruch. In the Ashkenazi tradition, the only thing that is mentioned is decorating the houses and eating dairy foods. But the staying all night is not mentioned. So where does this come from? The Rama says you have to have two dishes. Then if you follow up with what is being taught in the schools and different books, they say different reasons. One is because the Torah is analogized to milk. As the Pasuk says in Shir HaShirim, Devash v'halav tahad leshonech, under your tongue, honey and milk. And they say it's the words of Torah. That's why we eat dairy. Then there's one reason that says that after Bnei Israel received the Torah, all of their dishes were rendered non-kosher because they used to eat before that dairy and meat, and they didn't have time to kosher the dishes, so they had to eat dairy foods, which is interesting, right? But that's what we've always learned. The real reason, it seems to be much more trivial and mundane, and also explains why it started in Ashkenazi countries and then spread to the Sephardic world. When I said the Sephardic world, not to the whole Sephardic world. Moroccan don't have this minhag. I think none of North Africa, but the Iraqis do. We do eat dairy on Shavuot. The reason is that the time of Shavuot in the dairy farm, that was high season. That was when the cows gave more milk than usual, because the vegetations, the plants, everything was plentiful. So the goyim also, the non-Jews also used to eat a lot of dairy foods at that time. So the goyim, the Jews, because of its availability, because it was a festive thing to celebrate the abundance, they incorporated this tradition. However, originally there were some poskim, some rabbis who felt that you still have to honor the holiday with meat. So they say first eat dairy and then eat meat. With time, I guess the people, probably specifically the ladies, the women said, like, it's a big hassle to create 2 dishes and cleaning and separating everything. We'll do only one meal that is dedicated completely to dairy food. So this is Haga, how it is preserved today. Now, besides Shavuot, in general, the question is raised sometimes by people: do you have to eat meat on all the meals of the holiday? Meat on Shabbat? My parents always had a big fight with my sister. At a certain point, she's like, Shabbat, I only want a cup of maybe fruits and cottage cheese. I don't want to eat. What are you talking about? The hamin, the tabid, the hashwa. My father, you have to eat meat. Well, basar v'dagim, you have to eat meat, fish. I don't want to. It became a big issue. The truth is, Shulchan Aruch says, when he discusses Shabbat, that the Shabbat is all about onek Shabbat, pleasure. You have to enjoy Shabbat. So if I have more joy by eating dairy, then I should eat dairy. If someone doesn't like to eat bread, then he should skip bread, carbs altogether, because it causes him, if people have medical problem like celiac, right, they can't eat gluten, but also someone, let's say, was on a diet, and is very, very concerned right now, he doesn't want to eat more than that, then he shouldn't be forced, because it could cause him emotional strife. Ogumat nefesh, yes.
In English,
yeah.
They say that you're not supposed to work out on Shabbat. Some people find that.
Oh, okay, but that's a different question. So the bottom line answer is yes, you're allowed to work out on Shabbat. The reason that that it wasn't done in the past was people didn't work out; they worked every day. So Shabbat they needed to relax. But the Shulchan Aruch says, "B'chorim ha'mit'amgim beritzatam u'kfitzatam b'Shabbat." The young men who like running and jogging, and they're allowed to do that. So why does he write young men? Because at the time of Shulchan Aruch, only young men would do that. Older men wouldn't do that. Today, everybody does it. You're 90, people still and more jog and swim and all that. So definitely it's mutar. And there's another issue about they use the word it'amlut and mit'amlin b'Shabbat, but it meant medical massage and not it was a medical procedure, not preventive medicine. Is always allowed. So this is preventive medicine. Even if you do it for health reasons, to keep in shape for health reasons, because the whole issue of medical things, you're allowed to do Shabbat because it's a preventive measure and not a non-medical treatment. Anyway, so go back to the Seudot. People should know that all the Seudot on Shabbat it's sort of like, it's recommended to have 3 meals. And you do it in honor of Shabbat. But in the short winter Shabbatot, after you finish the second meal, there's barely time to go pray mincha. But some people try to squeeze the third Seudah Shalishit after mincha. My grandfather always used to say, when you see people going crazy, especially in the Shtiblach, to get to put the food on the table in the Bet Knesset. He said, "What is this? It's not joyful. You're like stuffing food into your mouth just to fulfill the mitzvah. It's not Oneg Shabbat. You're not doing the right thing. So everything has to be everything has to be done with balance and with logic. This is about the Saudot and eating meat or not eating meat on Shavuot. So the real reason that I think that in North Africa they didn't eat dairy on Shavuot, even when they heard of the minhag, because it was not considered respectful enough. Like a real meal is meat. I know that from my wife, because when I became vegetarian, for the first time it was maybe a year, she said, it's impossible. What am I going to cook for Shabbat? What is that? What am I going to serve you on Shabbat? It's not... and then the second time, I survived 4 years, but still, it was always this. What are we going to do for Shabbat? You're not... Even though I said, if you cook a dish with meat, I'll eat the vegetables, but not the meat. I'm not an ultra-Orthodox vegetarian, but still, that's one. The other thing is that in their house, my wife's house, when we got married, there were 2 cups and 2 spoons for dairy. That's it. If you wanted to eat something dairy, you had to wait in line. Let this person finish. It was not that common. Okay, so that's about dairy and on Shavuot. Yes. Okay. Let's pause here.